Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for signing in early. We'll just wait for a couple of seconds for more people to sign in. As you know, this is a lunch and learn session, so please make yourselves comfortable and enjoy your lunch as we learn along. Great, I think we shall begin. Good afternoon and welcome to What I Need series for executives, brought to you by HeadHunt in partnership with Workforce Singapore. My name is Tammy. Broadcasting live, we have with us Mr. Willis Sim from ExxonMobil and Ms. Agma Lee from Singapore Chemical Industry Council. And their topic for their presentation is Future Energy and Chemicals Sector. Thereafter, we'll have Ms. Shahika from WSG to give us an overview on WSG programs for Singaporeans. Please note that there is a Q&A function at the bottom of your screen, so please feel free to type in your questions at any time during the presentation. We'll also be conducting our feedback poll right at the end, so please stay with us. Without further ado, I'll now pass the time to Willis. Willis, over to you, please.
Hey, thank you for having me and good afternoon, everyone. We're just going to be sharing our screen. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Willis. I'm from ExxonMobil here in Singapore. I'm currently the talent acquisition manager for Singapore and India. So with that, I'm going to aim to bring you through today a little bit about what a company is, what we do, and hopefully also give you a flavor about what we do here in the energy and chemical sector and its importance to society and daily living. I have a video next that I would like to play for you that will give you a good overview of the company in Singapore.
ExxonMobil's humble beginnings in Singapore started in 1893 as the provider of kerosene and fuel for lighting and transportation. Our manufacturing presence started here right after Singapore's independence. And with its central location in the region, stable government, pro-business environment, infrastructure for the industry, and connectivity to the region and diverse talent pool, Singapore grew into a city with unique opportunities. Following the Exxon and Mobil merger in 1999, our business continued to grow with the country. Building on the strength of our world-scale refining and petrochemical base, ExxonMobil transformed from a trusted household brand into a world-scale integrated manufacturing complex. From Singapore, our liquefied natural gas, downstream and chemical businesses export to all over the world. After over 125 years, ExxonMobil is one of Singapore's largest foreign manufacturing investors and is a major supplier of fuels, lubricants and petrochemicals. Our multiple sites and facilities are linked by pipelines and run as one integrated facility to optimize energy use and logistics while bringing every molecule to its highest value. Our Singapore refinery produces a range of fuel products and provides the chemical plant with feedstock, while our Singapore chemical plant produces specialty chemicals that form the basic ingredients of high-performance products and consumer goods. To protect tomorrow today, we pay close attention to carefully balancing economic growth, social development, and environmental protection. The electricity and steam needed to power our plants and run our operations are powered by 3 cogeneration facilities, which help to also lower energy use and emissions. Made up of the best minds across a diversity of knowledge, skills, and experience, our people reach their fullest potential through training and different work opportunities across their careers. And because we understand the risks in the work that we do, we are committed to ensuring we work safely every day. But it's not just our workplace that we play a responsible role in. We believe that the world around us is our community, and the need to do our part as a responsible citizen through long-term community partnerships and the volunteerism efforts of our employees and their families. We recognize the challenges of meeting the needs of the future sustainably. That's why, from this site in Singapore, we help to move the world forward by making the building blocks of everyday products, by providing fuel that powers industries and cities, by powering the future. And that's what we do here at ExxonMobil in Singapore.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. So, ExxonMobil in Singapore, as you've seen in the video, we've been here for a long time. We've been in Singapore for about 130 years this year. We are one of the largest foreign investors in Singapore, and we have about 25 billion in assets here. You would see, in the diagram I have on the right, we have about 5 different plants that produce a range of products that is needed for everyday society use. And we also have, as you can see, a new project that is sort of in progress right now. We are, in many sense of the word, given the assets we have and the work that we do, really, I would say it's a very high-tech manufacturing industry. We have, for our asset size, about 3,500 employees, the majority of which are based at the manufacturing plants and helping to produce a lot of these products that we sell all over the world. So we run a world-scale refining and petrochemical complex. So it's not just about the fuel products, but also the chemical compounds, precursors, the molecules that go into the products. We are also, for those of you familiar with the Mobile 1 lubricant, more famously known in the F1 use as well. We are one of the largest in the Asia Pacific region to manufacture this proprietary lubricant. We are also in Singapore, the headquarters for the ExxonMobil businesses. So we have three main businesses and trading hubs in the commercial sense, which is the energy products, the chemical and specialty products, and also we have the liquefied natural gas based here as well. So here in Singapore, we have a very large presence. I would say we run one of the largest plants in Asia Pacific as an integrated site. We do produce everything across the region on this page and many more. So I'll just cover a few key ones. So one of the things we use, in daily life, electricity, for example, is generated from power plants, and some of the fuel is actually produced here in Singapore from the ExxonMobil refinery. We also do produce fuel required for aviation, jet fuel, for example, for flights, as you take vacation, business trips, you travel around the world, goods to move around by air. That comes in some places from us, and also marine fuel. So a lot of the, if you buy something from a online shop and it ships from another part of the world, it travels on the ship, and it actually requires marine fuels, which we produce. So there are also products that we produce that help others be more energy efficient. So lubricants, for example, help to maintain the quality of your engine, allow it to stretch the mileage for the fuel use, and in the longer term, ensure the longer life cycle of the engine that you have in your cars or in buses and so on and so forth. We also do play a big part in creating lightweight materials. These are typically the polymers or plastics that go into cars, right? So with increased focus on mileage, energy efficiency, and also even in the electric cars, a lot of them require lightweight polymers to ensure that the vehicle is able to travel over longer distance without recharging as frequently. So those products also come from the energy industry and chemical sector. Closer to home, a lot of what we have actually enable modern living. We've seen that a lot of times the demand for these products increase as societies develop and GDPs increase. The appliances you have, your fridge, the plastic packaging that keeps food safe and able to stay fresh for a longer period of time so that it doesn't spoil by the time it reaches your supermarket. More importantly, medical products, that's something that we do produce. It requires very clean, pure compounds to be produced to avoid contamination. And that's something that we also produce that it goes into. For those of you with kids, the diapers also contain the polymer compounds, some of which are produced here in Singapore. you see on the top right, I mean, we are still sort of out of COVID right now, but, I have an interesting piece to share. I mean, during COVID, as you all know, the, mask was in very high demand. We all needed it for our protection and for everybody's safety. Our plants here in Singapore actually converted its processes to be able to produce the non-woven polymers needed to go into this mask to support demand required from Singapore and so from around the region. So one of the things we also work on is also on enabling the energy transition. That's very important to all of us as well in the world that we live in. In the solar industry, one of the things we produce is actually resins. So these resins are actually a very thin film, about 0.5 mm or lesser. And these are the ones that actually protect the solar panels from the weather elements. So you want to ensure that, water doesn't get into the solar panel, the parts, the electronics. Any dirt or any debris that lands on the solar panel is able to go off and doesn't damage or cut the solar panels. So that maintains the efficiency and the ability for the solar panel to generate as much energy as possible. In the wind industry, our greases actually are used to help reduce the friction and to improve the efficiency. And obviously, in the same way that lubricants go into cars, our greases are used in the wind turbines to help ensure that you capture as much energy and generate as much electricity as possible. One of the most exciting things we're actually working on, and we have done quite a bit of work in recent years, is actually on carbon capture and storage. Simply, it's a way to capture carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and basically storing it in the ground. We think that this is a very big importance because of two main primary factors. I think one is the world doesn't have any capability right now that is proven that can remove CO2 from the atmosphere. We have to minimize, definitely, but we have to also make it negative, right? So carbon capture and storage is one of the ways in which the company is able to offer the world to extract carbon dioxide, in particular from heavy industries, and put it in the ground. We're very excited about this because we have the expertise. We know how to work subsurface materials. We have expertise in drilling. We have expertise in building large, massive plants with the engineering and technology that we possess. This is something that we're really excited about, and you'll probably hear a lot more about this in the next few years as well. In the meantime, when we look at fuels, I mean, that's a question. How do I be more, lower emission profile, when I travel? How do I emit a lesser carbon profile? One of the things we have developed and worked with is on alternative fuels, which is what we call low emission fuels. In particular, these are fuels that are blended with other non-fossil fuel sources to enable the decarbonization of the transport sector, right? Right now, it's not so simple to put batteries on the plane or on buses. So that's something we are providing as a solution while we work on reducing the carbon footprint for the world. So up next, I'm going to just show you another video on the low emission fuels. This is particularly the one that we have done as a pilot project with Singapore Airlines and Changi Airport to deliver what we call sustainable aviation fuel. All right, and with that, let me go on to the next segment. Wanted to share a little bit of what it's like working at ExxonMobil as a technician. I think a lot of the roles we have in the manufacturing side. Personally, I've spent quite a number of years supporting the manufacturing side as well. So, as a technician, it's really a highly skilled job. There is a responsibility to monitor, ensuring that the units are running safely and efficiently. A lot of times our technicians are the one that, walk the ground, observe the machinery, understand what works or not, and they're very involved as well with the engineers in troubleshooting and understanding what works and what doesn't, and coming up with solutions to resolve the issues. A lot of what we operate is actually very specialized equipment, and this really, turn a lot of the raw materials you have, be it the oil and gas into chemical products, or even turning them into the fuels and lubricants that we all talked about earlier. Obviously, production goals. One of the things we run in the plant is, it's a 24/7 production cycle that we have, and ensuring the smooth operation and ability to deliver the goods that we need to our customers. Right, these are people who manufacture final products for the medical use, for daily living, or even for your power plants and for shipping and so on. So the timeliness and the ability to deliver has an important impact on how society operates. And I talked a little bit about troubleshooting. I mean, that's really something that we count on our technicians to really help with resolving any problems or issues that come up. We do have a very comprehensive training and career development. When you come in, we will provide you with a very extensive training up to around 6 months. We will cover all aspects of what you need to know and what we need to learn. And really what we're looking for is, people who are willing to learn and prepared to invest the time to pick up the skill sets required for this industry. We do have a very strong development and progression program. As you can see below, we do have 2 main categories of junior technician grades and senior technician grades. So for even as a technician coming in, you would have about 7 different levels that you could get into, depending on your qualifications, depending on your interests, depending on your competencies that you gain, either on the job or through your own learning. A lot of our technicians also do progress into either becoming specialists. So an example will be the console specialist. They're responsible for managing a lot of the issues that we get at the plant, understanding what happens, helping to maximize operation targets, and helping to troubleshoot and ensuring that the plant runs smoothly. Of course, for people who desire supervisory roles, they can progress into what we call a first-line supervisory role, and then they will oversee in turn a group of technicians, or they could become specialized planners to help the plan work activities and do analysis for the plant operations. We do have job rotations in between. If you work for a particular plant, as part of your development, you'll be asked to learn different posts, right? Basically understand and learn a different part of the plant for your own development, and so for overall understanding of how the plant operates. There are times that there are opportunities to either go into a project role supporting either a plant improvement, or in certain cases when a company makes an investment, there could be an opportunity to go into a different project role to support the plant startup. We also do have cases where people in the technician roles express an interest, for example, in safety. And they could actually go on and become what we call a safety auditor. So they spend time helping their fellow technicians understand more about the safety systems, ensuring that the safety processes are well understood, and they increase their competency in understanding how to manage any safety concerns that may arise. I want to just make a point here. Our locations are primarily in the Pioneer sector and also in Jurong Island, which is where the bulk of our facilities are. We do provide company transport for both shift and non-shift roles. So one of the things we have, I mean, our employees really do enjoy is our in-house recreation club. We'll call it the ExxonMobil Singapore Recreation Club, or the ESRC. A lot of activities are organized by the club. So if you do sports, there's badminton tournaments. There are weekly badminton games that people go to. There's the occasional soccer game that's organized. If you like durians, that is great. We typically have it as a tradition once a year. We do organize a durian party where you go with your friends and colleagues and enjoy. I think the last time we had was 3 kg of Mao Shan Wang per pax, right? So if you like durian, that's something we offer. We also do have a crack party, and also, of course, chances for people to learn a new sport and also bond with colleagues. So, for us, it's not just about work, it's also playing hard and, spending the time with our fellow colleagues. A lot of our colleagues actually do go together as a team to these events, and a lot of them eventually get to know each other so well that they become, good personal friends and, the godfathers and godmothers of their kids. All right, and this is the last slide I have. We'd like to invite you to have a career with us. We do have a number of job opportunities from process technicians all the way to lab technicians. We are looking for a minimum requirement of either an ITE degree. For most of you, we will expect that you're experienced, so we're looking for people with the aptitude or hands-on experience in either a field setting or in a mechanical type, hands-on engineering type work. Polytechnic diploma will definitely be an advantage, especially in the engineering areas. We do have both shift and non-shift opportunities available. Our machinery technician role, for example, and our instrument and electrical technician roles are non-shift. So they work Monday to Friday, and they have the Saturday and Sunday off as well. So we do have a range of opportunities. So if shift is your thing, definitely we are looking to hire. And if you prefer a non-shift job, but you have the technical capabilities that you would like to sort of pick up and work further on, we definitely do have those opportunities available for you as well. So we do have the QR code up there on the top right side. So if you're interested, you can scan it or visit our jobs portal at jobs.exxonmobil.com. We do have hiring batches throughout the year. So go in, take a look, sign up for the notifications, and when a job opening is available, you'll get notified. And I think with that, we will probably take some questions and answers. Sorry, we'll probably move it on to Agma and Shafiqa first.
Over to you, Agma.
Okay, thank you. So thanks, Release, for the informative sharing. So for my side, right, so I'll just share a couple of slides about the career conversion program. Yeah, so before that, let me just introduce who SCIC is. So I guess maybe a couple of you may not be familiar with SCIC. So let me just quickly run through. Yeah, so SCIC, right, so we are basically industry associations representing the energy and chemical companies in the private sector. So in terms of the companies that we are representing, if you look at the nature of business operation, they are not just the chemical manufacturers, but across the entire value chain. So that will include, like, for example, our chemical logistics, our chemical warehouse, storage chemical transporters, waste management up to chemical traders. Yeah. It is not just like a local voice for the local E&C sector. So we are also represented through the ICCA, so it stands for the International Council of Chemical Association. So that's basically the worldwide voice of the global chemical industry. So that's where it is the global platform that we discuss issues, initiatives, challenges revolving about the chemical industry. Yeah. So as an industry association, our role will also be like undertaking the various driving various industry programs and initiatives. So one of such will be our flagship program on responsible care. So for those who are in this sector, so this is a program that you may heard about it. It's an important program. It is not a local program, but an international worldwide program. So it drives the commitment of continuous improvement in health, safety, environment, security, performance of the industry. Yeah. So SAIC, right, we have been also appointed by Enterprise Singapore as the Standards Development Organization. So that's where we kind of like develop and review Singapore standards that is used by the chemical industry. So it revolves around the chemical, environment, and resource. Yeah. So last but not least, so we have also like a project where we drive industry initiatives, improving the productivity performance of our process, construction and maintenance partners who are supporting the process industry. Yeah. So in short, this is basically what who SAIC is, and then the various programs that we undertake. Okay. Yeah. So SAIC, right, is like a single collective voice for the chemical industry. Yeah. So that's where, right, we provide a neutral platform for the different E&C companies to come together where we can collaborate, most importantly in a non-competitive manner. Yeah, so together we drive different industry programs, initiatives that will eventually add value to companies and then to the industry at large, and then and also to Singapore as a nation. Yeah, so we also serve like an interface with the various stakeholders, as you can see from the left side, and then with our different member companies. Okay, so these are the various, I would say, industry programs that we embark on, like improving the industry identity, driving various advocacy issues on behalf of the industry. So this is a common platform where we can come together. We also help to build industry capacity, capability building, and then we also enhance like Singapore's presence at regional and international platform. Yeah, so this is who we are. Okay, so you may be wondering, right? So how does SAIC comes into this picture? Yeah, so Singapore government is very supportive in kind of channeling the workforce for this E&C sector. Yeah, so the E&C cluster, right, is one of the major industry cluster in Singapore, and also a major contributor to the total manufacturing output for Singapore. So it will still continue to remain as a key pillar of Singapore economy. Yeah. So through WSG, right, so they have launched this program on career conversion for future energy and chemical sector. And that's where, right, they have appointed SAIC as the program partner. Yeah. So with our network with the various E&C companies, right, so that puts SAIC in a very conducive position to kind of propagate the program among the E&C sector. Yeah. So for example, Exxon is also one of our member companies. Yeah. So that's where, right, through CCP, we can help to channel that potential pool of candidates, okay, who are keen to join the E&C sector, and also for the E&C companies who are keen to recruit candidates who are key in that sector but do not have a relevant chemical background, right, to support this particular sector. Yeah, so that's where the role of SAIC in the entire picture. Yeah. Okay, so my last two slides, right, will just like give you an insights of what CCP is all about. Yeah, so basically CCP, right, there are three modalities, but in today's context, the more relevant one will be the mode 1, place and train. Yeah, so it looks at new hire. So for example, if companies, right, they are keen to hire a new mid-career individual. Yeah, so in the definition of new career, mid-career individual, so it has to be somebody who are coming from a totally different sector to take on the new role. Yeah, so it cannot be somebody, it cannot be like a fresh grad or fresh from the NS. Yeah, so it has to be there must be a conversion element over here. Yeah, to be covered under CCP. Yeah. So over here, right? So for these schemes, right, then companies who onboard their candidates, right, on CCP, right, they can then leverage on some form of funding support. Yeah. So this is like kind of encouraging companies who are willing to train interested candidates who do not have a background to join this particular sector. Okay. So this gives like a more detail in terms of the archetype that we are looking at for new hires who will be on board the CCP program. So you look at the impact, right? So it will not affect the candidate per se, because be or not the CCP, companies who have hired new hires, right, they will also put that person undergo that structured OJT. Yeah. So it is more like is more for the company. Yeah. So when they hired new candidates, right, so they will put that person to undergo their structured on-job training. Yeah. So that's where a company can leverage on the funding support that will be covered under CCP. So if you look at the job function over here, so typically, right, when we look at the different job function that will be covered under CCP, so there must be like a technical element. Yeah. So when there's a new hire, right, so because they are coming from different sector, so there's a need for the company to kind of like train them to acquire new set of knowledge and skill sets in order to perform that particular role in the company. Yeah. So if you look at the box over here, these are like the typical technical positions that we look at. So it's not exhaustive. It's just like providing reference on the different types of roles that we look at in the typical E&C company, where there is a need to train them with the new set of skill sets and knowledge that's related to the company. Yeah. Okay, so you will not cover like corporate functions like your HR, accounting. Yeah. So for that bit of job function, it will not be covered in the CCP for the future energy and chemical sector. Okay. Yeah. So I think that kind of like summarize the entire connection between the E&C company, the government, and then the role as an industrial association. Yeah. So that's all for my part.